Hello, I am Drag, and in today's movie review, I will be reviewing a movie called SnowBound for Christmas. I recently came across this movie. Apparently it's a 2019 movie, but it just showed up in my Netflix, so I had to watch it, right? This movie looked atrocious. Well, actually, no. It didn't actually look that bad, but I should have realized that is probably that's the point of a movie trailer. The point of a movie trailer is to show that a movie is not bad, and this movie is very bad, which is just like, right up my alley. But this movie is bad, not because of how coincidental it seems to be, but because the implications of things, it doesn't think through the implications of what it is presenting. Kind of like Dear Evan Hansen. I mean, like, come on, let's be honest. That movie, I mean, the show itself is bad, but like, you know what? No. So without further ado, here is SnowBound for Christmas. The movie starts out very bizarrely with this woman showing up at work. I forgot her name, so we'll just call her female lead. Her boss, whose name I also forgot, he'll be called male lead. So she shows up to work, and her redheaded work friend, is like, oh, okay, yeah. And then the boss comes in, and like he's all dressed up, you know, as a boss should be. And the first thing that I noticed about female lead was that in this scene, she's like, she dressed a little too casual for like a professional setting. I was like, okay, that's weird. And the boss is like dressed all presentable and whatnot. And he's like, oh yeah, so you guys will be in the meeting, right? He's like, yeah, so we should go. The redheaded friend is just like, ooh, I think he forgot. And it's kind of implying something. I don't know what yet, but you know, we'll find out. So after that, this ice queen who looks, I don't know, she's tall and European. I don't know. She's like, oh, I'll fill you in on what's going on in the meeting. She's like obviously supposed to be the antagonist, I guess, but she actually is kind of more, you side with her more than you actually do the lead, which I'm gonna get into later. But when she showed up to the meeting, the ice queen just like, oh my god, like, what are you doing here? I mean, she doesn't actually say that. And oh my god, you guys will never believe who is in this movie. It's Clive! Clive is in the movie! Like, ah! I know that he shows up in a lot of these movies, and that just makes me so happy, because he really is a pretty good actor. And I'm just like, the more of the movies that I see him in, the more I realize that Christmas with a View, they just didn't care. But like, that's neither here nor there. I was just excited to see him. But my mom didn't recognize him, which makes me sad. There was that. They talk about going on a team building exercise or like a team building trip. I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like this is a little weird to just kind of throw in. You don't normally do that, but okay. And then the boss is like, oh, why is everybody dressed so casual? And then the redheaded chick was like, it's casual day. I don't know what day it was. It wasn't Friday though. It should have been casual Friday, but and so they basically go skiing and whatnot. And it's like supposed to be this big romantic thing between the two leads, and I'm just like, what is this? There's like there was no build up to this. Are they a couple? I mean, they're not, but apparently they want us to believe that there's some sort of chemistry between them. As I was watching this movie, my mom was just like, she didn't like the movie, obviously. But you know what? No. I'll get into that point later. I will get into that point later. So after they do that very unnecessary scene, they cut to another scene? I don't know. The start of this movie is really weird. It just kind of goes without any real direction. We find out that our female lead is a digital marketing executive or something. And she has now been tasked to go with the boss and Ice Queen to talk about a business pitch at a hotel ski resort that they redesigned or something. I don't know. It was very unclear. Or maybe it was and I just didn't catch it. The point is, Ice Queen, the boss, and female lead are going to be, you know, there. Nobody actually has, apparently, like, people have reserved spots in this hotel, but nobody is actually going to be there yet because it is still being renovated, or like it just wrapped up on being renovated. It's just the three and the entire hotel staff in this giant ass hotel. 350 rooms. And you see where this is going. For some reason, Ice Queen feels threatened by our female lead. We literally, at this point, there is no indication on why she should feel threatened by her. Apparently, Ice Queen and the boss were previously in a relationship at one point, but it doesn't matter because, like, female lead has shown no interest in the boss, you know, until they're alone, I guess. So they start off by, how do I say this? So as they're like getting all the stuff ready, the French guy, the French concierge, oh my god, I don't know why I couldn't think of that word earlier today. Concierge. The concierge, who is French, not a very good French accent, but like, neither here nor there, is like, oh yeah, there's also this like scouting area or whatever, there's cabins. And then the boss is like, "Oh, Ice Queen, you should go over there and scout the locations. It'd be great. And then you can fill me in on everything after." And then she's like, "But wait, whoa. When are we gonna be doing this? We have a meeting tomorrow. Like we actually like have a pretty serious pitch tomorrow." And the boss is just like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll have female lead with me. It'll be fine. And I'm just like, okay. And then my mom was like, that don't make no goddamn sense. She was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And so, yeah. And then Ice Queen is just like, okay, whatever. Then it's the next day. So it's the pitch meeting. Ice Queen has been sent off. Then female lead is waking up. Female lead is waking up at like 6:30 for a pitch that they have at like 10 to noon maybe. I was like, why are you just now waking up? Bitch, you should have been awake at like, that's neither here nor there. It turns out that they're snowed in. There is a blizzard, the roads are closed, and this is where it started to get unbelievable. But before then, the boss is shown to be incredibly nervous. He accidentally runs into female lead in the hallway. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's terrible. And he's just like, oh my gosh, he's just like sweating bullets and everything. He's like, ooh, this is going to be a big thing. We're really nervous. We're really nervous about this. And then the female lead just like all casual about it. It's like, oh no, it's fine. Everything's going to be good. You know, we got this. Everything's going to be just fine. Everything's going to be cool. And it's so earlier in the movie, it was explained to us that she had actually just started working there maybe like 3 weeks ago. So she hasn't even been working at this place for a month. So my mom and I were discussing like why they would take her rather than any other employee. Especially because Clive actually had a pretty sick burn aimed at her after their team bonding experience, where she had this presentation which was going to be given at this pitch meeting. And he said, wow, I have no idea why we hired you at first, but now I know. I was like, dude, that's like, because I mean, how do you come back from that? And it showed that she was very inexperienced, and most of the people who had speaking roles that were in the team didn't really see what value she had, which is its own thing. But then the boss sends over the vice president of the organization to go scout during an incredibly important pitch meeting and has her on the other side of the mountain so we can have the no name, no experience greenhorn, you know, by his side. And it's just, what? That don't make no sense. Especially if he gets incredibly anxious in these situations. Why is he sending the person who actually knows how he reacts in these instances, and at the very least would be a safety net? Yeah, she's an ice queen, but you know her. You would rely, she is your safety net at this point. So why are you just like sending her away? Oh, that's right, because this is a shitty romance movie. That's right. But, you know, I mean, that's only what makes it better. So, concierge comes in, and he's like, oh yeah, no, there's not gonna be a meeting today. The roads are closed. Everything is like shut down. There's apparently a blizzard. And that's when my mom, she was just like, there was no forecast. You guys are in the mountains. You guys couldn't see the storm coming. You guys don't have your own plows. And she's right, especially in a place like this. This is a ski resort, right? So you guys don't have your own snow plows. You don't have, I'm from Ohio. Okay. I'm originally from Ohio, and my mom has lived in Ohio her entire life, you know, up until we moved out of Ohio. But the majority of her life, she grew up in Ohio. The snow plows were always the first things to come out, especially in a winter-proofed area like this. And it's just, hold on. So you're saying that not only did you guys not get a forecast, not only did you guys not get a forecast, but you don't have snowplows. Do you have any idea how much money you are losing because y'all don't got no goddamn snowplows? What ends up happening in like what the best line of the whole movie? Well, okay, the second best line right after Clive's. Actually, okay. The fourth best line in the whole movie was the boss was like, wait, so you're saying it's just her and me in this 350 room hotel? And it's just like, thank you, exposition man. And then they basically have the whole spa day, the whole shebang-a-bang, which is really weird. It's really weird, and I hated it. I hated every second of it because it was bad. It was fake. It was just like so fake bullshit romance, whatever the fuck. It was bad. And I didn't believe it for a second. We're supposed to believe that these two have like a lot of sexual chemistry and tension between each other. But we find out that Ice Queen and Boss Man dated at one point, which also would have added more validity to why he would see her more as a safety net. But also, it was this whole thing where they were at this entirely staffed resort and no one was there. It was just them, the wait staff, and that was it. And the staff were just like, during the spa, they were just, one of the masseuses comes out and she's just like, oh, okay, so we have scheduled a couples massage. And I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Y'all got something scheduled. It don't matter. No one else is here. What are you talking about? Oh, we only have a couples room available. We can put up a curtain. Nobody's here. Nobody is here. What are you talking about? Schedules? Ooh. But and then they do that. And then we cut to Ice Queen, who's on a cabin on the other side of the mountain. And she's like with this hunky mountain man who looks like Nick Jonas. So I'm gonna call him Nick Jonas Mountain Man. Nick Jonas Mountain Man and Ice Queen, they make it to the cabin, then the blizzard starts. She's like, oh my god, it's terrible here. I hate it. Everything is awful. And then Nick Jonas Mountain Man is like sweeping out the stove to heat up the cabin. And she's like, shivering her ass off. And so he takes off his coat and puts it on her. And then she's like, oh, thank you. And it's like, she's still being a bitch. And he's like, well, we need a fire to... we need a fire to warm this place up. Could you go outside and get some sticks or something? And she's like, you want me to go outside to get some sticks when you were just bragging about what an amazing and spectacular mountain man you are? And like, she does bring up a good point. But then he eventually convinces her to go out and get some sticks. And like, when she leaves after like one of her Ice Queen quips, he smiles, showing that he's been charmed by her. I was like, ugh, okay. When she gets back, the fire's set up and they're just talking about nothing. He puts some spam on a plate and then she tries to eat it and is like, oh my god, this is absolutely disgusting. And she's got a point, because it wasn't even cooked. And he's just like eating the spam, just like, well, I might not be a complete stranger if you ask me a question about myself. From Pittsburgh, by the way. And so she's just like, okay, why did you leave Pittsburgh to come out here? He's like, I don't want to answer that question right now. And then he's like, oh, okay, that was the end of that conversation. And then we cut back to our two leads, boss and main character. They're having this big fancy dinner for some reason. It's really weird. They're all dressed up nice and stuff. It is so weird because she is a new employee and he is the boss, and it has been established that he has been with another person at the business. So from us as a viewing perspective, it's no longer this romantic thing. It's this, I came up with this line, once you've slept with one of your employees, you've slept with all of them. And I kind of feel like that, I feel like that's true in a sense, because it's just like, you've been with one of your employees, and now here you are going after another one. It's like, are you like some sort of sleaze or something? But even what makes this even worse, and my mom brought this up, she's like, bitch, you are a black career woman. Why are you trying to hook up with your boss? That's only gonna cause drama. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Because she is a business executive, and my mom would bring up her experiences with business executives and how most of them have master's degrees. So like, they're generally in their late 20s, early 30s. And it's already hard enough to find a job because when you're marketing stuff like that, the turnover rate, businesses go under all the time, So why are you trying to hook up with the boss. This is not what you want. This is going to look bad. Not to mention, she's like talking with her parents about him and everything, and her parents' advice weren't, bitch, why are you trying to sleep with your boss? They're, oh, well, sometimes guys don't know what they want. Sometimes guys are just stupid. You don't know. Like, he's dumb. Like, he doesn't know what he's missing. And we're both just like, bitch, why are you trying to sleep with your boss? But on top of that, he becomes even more of a sleaze because it's just like... They have this moment where she's like, oh my god, you have little flecks of green in your eyes. And like both me and my mom were just like, that is inappropriate behavior. Because this was strictly meant to be a business trip. At the end of the day, this was a business trip. So why are you two getting so romantic together? Why are you guys wearing your Sunday best for a dinner, nonetheless, where it is just you two? I was about to bring up like, oh, well, what about work drinks? And I'm like, oh. And mom's like, yeah, work drinks. With work drinks, you're at a bar or something, surrounded by a bunch of other people. There is no, you have flecks of green in your eyes in that situation. And I'm just like, you're right. It was so asinine. And my mom is just like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why are both of you risking your statuses for this? It doesn't add up. And why, just why? Why was the question? After they almost kiss, I know, right? Keep up. The boss is just like, whoa, no. They're interrupted by dessert. And then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go freshen up. And then she like deep throats one of those cookie straws. They meet back up and then they start dancing. And then the boss is just like, whoa, we shouldn't be doing this. I feel like we're crossing the line. And then female leader's like, oh, no, I'm fine with crossing lines. I'm absolutely fine with crossing lines. It's like, whoa, girl, okay. If you want the D, you gotta come off a little less desperate. Even then, this whole situation shouldn't have happened because he is her boss. I get that it seems charming. I get that it seems fun. But at the end of the day, he has the ability to fire her, promote her, demote her, whatever. And it just becomes much less sexy when you think about it like that. Not to mention, bitch, why are you letting yourself get into this situation? He is your boss. You don't want that. It's just very messy. And then on top of that, it was just gross. It was gross, honestly. And apparently, at some point the Wi-Fi went out. And throughout this whole time when they're like having this romantic spa day, neither of them were working on their business proposal. And I'm just like, it wasn't canceled, it was just postponed. Okay, but whatever. It's the next day. The next day, I guess the blizzard stopped or something. It never looked like a blizzard, by the way. I've experienced a blizzard. It looked like very moderate snowfall. It was, there was no whiteout, like, they didn't even spray anything on the green screened windows. It was just a beautiful mountainscape with CGI snow. There was nothing there. But the next day, apparently now the snowplows were able to get through, because snowplows wouldn't be the first thing. And the concierge is just like, oh yeah, no, so I guess we'll be arriving shortly. And our two leads go to like a cabin or something, and this is actually where the concierge interrupts them. They're having this buddy romantic, thing in this cabin, and it just felt gross because the boss had turned her down the day before, and then she's just like, oh, well, you know what, I'm above that, and there she go, hopping right back on his dick again. And it was gross. So after Ice Queen gets back, she's like, oh my god, we should be going pretty soon, right? We're leaving soon, right? They're like, oh, yeah, we're totally leaving soon. And then they're driving back, and then they talk about another proposal that they have in Vail. But in the car, Assistant Ice Queen is just like, yeah, I booked our flight because they needed our information like right away, so I booked our flight. You and me are both going to Vail. And then the boss man's just like, oh, well, did you have one for female protag too? And then she's just like, why? This is a 2-person pitch. I don't know why we'd need a third. And like, she's actually, like, in this scene, they're trying to play it off as her being, oh, bitchy, this is her checkmate move. But she's right. It's a 2-person pitch. Why would we use the extra money and resources that our company has very limited amounts of, to send the digital marketing girl to Vale. What? It just like, okay. So the next night, that night actually, no, it has to be the next night. They're like planning the work Christmas holiday party, whatever. And female protag gets an email from Ice Queen, and then she's like, red-haired best friend just like, oh, ignore it. And then she gets another email from the boss, and then she's just like, oh, I think they want us to stay late. And then Clive was like, us? What do you mean, us? And in that moment, it would have been so funny to me had he been like, us? No, you. They want you to stay late. I didn't get no email. And then like redheaded was like, he's got a point. And then they both just leave her there. And that's just me. Nah, okay. They have to, on top of scheduling the Christmas party now, remake a whole new pitch because there was something wrong with the first one. So they had to make a second one. They basically spent like the rest of the night. Clive and redheaded best friend go home and leave female lead with another employee who fell asleep. And they didn't order no food or nothing. Like, okay. It was just so funny because like at this point they were actually working overtime. They could have dipped at any moment and it wouldn't have been anyone's fault. But yeah. So then they go to the Christmas party. Boss Man and Ice Queen show up, seeming to be a couple. Ice Queen's like, oh yeah. For a thing, like we decided to make it work, and it was just so fake because she's talking, this is an Ice Queen talking to a black career woman who should be above all of this. So she's like, oh yeah, we decided to make it work, I just didn't want you to hear it through the grapevine. And my mom, who is a black career woman, said in this instance it would have been, oh, that's great, I hope things work out for you two. It wouldn't be like this, oh well, I hope things work out for you too. It'd be, okay, no, that's great. So are you saying that the boss likes to hook up with his employees? Because I don't know, that's really the environment that I want to be a part of. Just stuff like that. Like that would have shut her up like right away. But no, this is a shitty movie. So we go on, the boss is trying to like call her and whatnot, and she's not answering. And then her parents come and surprise her. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention her parents. But you know, they're pretty inconsequential to the whole movie. Her parents surprise her, and he actually shows up to the house too. And the dad's just like openly calling him an idiot and whatnot. I can understand the dad's sentiment, but at the same time, I don't understand his sentiment. Because the dad has never seen this guy before. So why is he so antagonistic towards him? Like, you don't know who this guy is. He could be the boss, but he could also just be some dude. He could be her best friend. You don't know who this guy is. So yeah. And then I don't know, they do the whole romance thing. They get together after she ignored a call from the redheaded friend who's like, bitch, you better come over here. I'm scared to eat all of these cookies. Also, the boss shows up to her house. The boss man shows up to redhead's house. I mean, not redhead's, female lead's house. The boss shows up to female lead's house, like, uninvited. Like, this whole relationship is, like, incredibly inappropriate for the workplace. But, like, okay. Then they finally become a thing. The boss man basically gropes female lead in the office, which is also, like, incredibly inappropriate. And redhead's just like, oh my god, you two are a thing! And then she hugs them. I'm not saying that hugging is inappropriate at work, but hugging the boss might be in the lobby. It might be. And then Ice Queen's like, oh, well, I'm glad that you two are a thing now. Then Nick Jonas Mountain Man comes back, and she's like, Adrian, I've moved. Oh yeah, the guy's name is Adrian. Oh wow. She's like, boss man, I found a real man. And then she just like kisses Nick Jonas Mountain Man, and then like, oh well, Happy New Year. Yeah, and then the movie's over. I hated this movie. I hated every part of this movie, and I loved it. This is probably one of the creepiest romance movies I have ever seen, and I'm glad that I watched it with a career black woman so that we could discuss everything that was wrong with it. And it was great. It was great. I do not recommend watching this movie, and that will be the video. Thank you for watching and listening. Like, subscribe, do all that social media stuff. Follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all those social medias. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye!